Hello and welcome to Rockies Recap, a part of the Rockies Now podcast network. I'm your host, Steven. Quote, a little bit more pain. The Rockies lose to the Cubs 9-8, but they played a lot better today, especially later in the game. They were able to come back and tie the game at least 8-8. And then there was somewhat of an error when Nick Mears came in. I think it was a wild pitch, strike three, and that was able to get the go-ahead runner on base, and that would allow the Cubs to take the lead and to pull out a win over the Rockies today. So it again another loss. It hurts, but you know what? The Rockies, at least they didn't give up, and the pitching still is very bad, and it needs to improve. But at least the offense kind of woke up, especially in temperatures like in the 20s, I think I was looking at. And plus, you have nasty weather in Chicago, the wind, but there was a lot of stuff to take away from the game. Hey, at least Chris Bryant, he got his first two hits of the year. Congrats, good for you. And Charlie Blackmon will look over here on my notes. Charlie Blackmon had three hits tonight, including two RBIs, so he's having a nice start to the year. But the bad news is that the Rockies, they tied with their 2005 team record when they started the season 1-6. So this is again tied for the worst start in Rockies history. But again, it's still early, but we're not going to sugarcoat it necessarily. This is still a bad team to start the year, but at least the team didn't give up, when they were down like 8-2 early in the game. But like I said, Chris Bryant got his first two hits of the year and his first RBI. Nolan Jones got a knock, but he's still having a very slow start to the year. He's hitting, if I believe, looking at this correctly, hitting a buck 03 to start the year in terms of batting average. So both Chris Bryant and Nolan Jones having really slow starts to the year offensively. Um, this is a funny stat. You should check it up. But Jacob Stallings leads the Rockies team with a 1.292 OPS. So arguably he's one of the best, if not the best hitter on this team. And who thought that Jacob Stallings was going to be their guy for the first week of the year? So, haha. Yeah, Cal Quantrill wasn't good. He got three strikeouts, but the walks. I was watching the game and there was a couple calls where I thought that could have been strike three, but it is what it is. No umpire's perfect, but Quantrill wasn't good. He didn't look great. Kenley out of bullpen is struggling to start the year. Jake Bird, however, did look good. And then Nick Mears, he gave up that earned run in the eighth inning, but he still looks good to start the year. But yeah, I mean the pitching's still bad, and I'm a little bit worried for the home opener here on Friday and for the upcoming home series against the Rays, and then we have to play the Diamondbacks again out of all teams. So again, it's whatever. And so, but at least the Rockies, they didn't quit tonight. I'm proud of them for not quitting because again, when you're off to a horrible start like this, you just kind of want to just stop and quit and just call it a night. But the Rockies, they came back from an 8-2 deficit to tie the game 8-8. And of course they lost tonight. But again, hats off to the Rockies team there for trying to come back in. However, you do look at the Cubs did make a couple errors, so thanks to them for that. But um, the Rockies, they just can't sit back and relax and say, okay, well, we're going to score runs at home. No, because I feel like last year there was a lot of games where the Rockies couldn't score runs at home. So again, they need to improve as they head home to play the Rays and the Diamondbacks. And so yeah, they need to work on that. A few more notes here. The Cubs, the pitching in this series was bad for the Rockies. I feel like every single guy in the Cubs lineup had a good series. Christopher Morel, Cody Bellinger. Thankfully, Cody Bellinger didn't have a huge series. I mean, I think, he had a few heartbreaking hits, but again, this series was all Cubs. It was bad. Looking around baseball for some of our MLB notes here, the Marlins are off to an 0-7 start. So at least the Rockies are not the worst team in the National League. So if you know a Marlins fan, just let them know that we know how they feel. The New York Yankees are 6-1. They beat the Diamondbacks today in Arizona. Astros are off to a slow start as well. However, they won the last couple games, including a no hitter the other day by that young pitcher. I forget his name, but they're starting the season with a 2-5 record. And then tonight, Otani hit his first Dodger home run in a Dodger uniform. Dodgers would win that game against the Giants 5-4, and they moved to a 7-2 record. And some information for Friday as the Rockies open up a 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Austin Gomber will be getting in the start against Zach Little of the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, if you're going to Coors Field, make sure you get there early because, again, I know some people have decided not to go because of this, the start of the team and how they're doing right now. But again, a lot of people are expecting it's going to be busy. It's going to be a sellout. So make sure you get to the ballpark early and stay safe out there on the roads. But anyway, Zach Little will be starting for the Rays, Austin Gomber for the Rockies on Friday. I believe it's 2:10, I think. Again, you can check it up on MLB.com or Rockies website. We got a nice comment here from Lux. W Rockies Now, covering MLB as well as the Rockies. Appreciate that, Lux. But again, if you have any Rockies questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or X, however you call it. My handle's right there, as you can see right next to my name. Feel free to follow me on all my social media platforms, as well as Instagram and Twitter, especially Twitter. I'm usually trying to get active on there as well. So again, make sure you're tuned in to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed for every Rockies recap. Tom's got the Rays series that'll be coming up, and then I'll be doing the Diamondback series after that. So again, make sure you're staying tuned. The Rockies overall thoughts on tonight. I'm happy that they were able to come back, but again, this is still a bad team, and we're probably looking at another 100 loss season. But you know what? There's always a possibility that the Rockies could do something. But again, with this team and the pitching, it's not going to be a good year for your Rockies. But anyways, I think that'll do it. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. And as always, go Rockies.